Namo Nori Swadhay Namo Kirit Namo Nori Swadhay Namo Nori Swadhay Namo Nori Swadhay Namo Nori Swadhay Omkara Mendu Sanyukta Nityam Jayanti Yogina Kamadam Okshadam Chai Omkara Namo Mangalam Bhagavanayo Mangalam Gokulu Mangalam Kurkundari Ujendra Mursu Mangalam Namasana Swanu Bhutya Chaka Siti Sovai Bhavaya Sarvama Yudhava
Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Aryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ujjanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Ajnanatimirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurumritam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayvantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jayvantavarto Jinana Samo Sarana Saujaivantavarto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jaivantavarto Namo E Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarutene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane अहो उपकार जिनवर नो कुंद नो ध्वनि दिव्य नो जीन कुंद ध्वनिया अहो ते गुरु काननो अहो ते भगवती मातनो ध्रुव अचलने अनुपम गति पामेल सर्वे सीधने वंदी कहो सुत केवली भाषित आसमय प्राभृत अरे हूँ एक शुद्ध सदा अरूपी ज्ञान दर्शनमय खरे कई अन्य ते मारू जरी परमाणु मात्र नथी अरे जम नेत्र ते मज ज्ञान नथी कारक नथी वेदक अरे जाने जकर मोदय निरजरा बंद ते मज मोक्ष ने ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ओम श्री शुद्धात्माने नमः Jai Jinendra. Today is December 21st, 2016, Wednesday, and we are taking our regular class on Samaysar. And long-awaited thing for us is stanza 11. So here we are. Today we are going to start with stanza 11. I need to have you have a seat belts on because it's going to be really bumpy ride. Lots of informations are to be covered, and we will be able to, because we have done so much about Vyavarne Nishchayani almost for 10 classes, that it will not be that difficult, but it will be, again, even knowing all those things, still it's going to take little while to digest what Gurudev really want us to understand in this stanza. So without much delay, I will go to the slides. Microsoft PowerPoint. One second. Documents. Change some slides. Samaysar Stanza 11. Okay. So share screen. Okay, so here we have stanza 11, as we say, long-awaited stanza. Actually, Gurudev Sri has said that stanza 11 is a heart of the Samaysar. A few stanzas are there out of 415 that Gurudev really loved it. Stanza 6, stanza number 1, stanza 6, stanza 11, stanza 13, stanza 38, and then going to stanza 141 to 144, and then stanza 73, and last one is stanza 320, 308 to 311 also, and 320. So these are a few of the stanzas that Gurudev loved it by heart, and this is one of them. So what it says, we'll sing the stanza with us together, and then we'll see what happens. Kuto vyavhar nayo nanu sartavya iti cheta. Vyavaharo buddhatho desido du suddhanao buddhathamasido khalu sammaditthi havadi jivo. Vyavaharo bhutartho darshitastu suddhanayah bhutarthamasitah khalu samyagadrastir bhavati jivo. Vyavaharanaya abhutartha darshita suddhanaya bhutartha che bhutarthane asrita jiva sudrasti nishchaya hoya che. This is the meaning of the stanza. Basically what it says, Vyavaharne abhutarche suddhane bhutarche em rushishya darsayu che જે જીવ ભૂતાર્થનો આશ્રય કરે છે તે જીવ સમ્યક દ્રષ્ટિ છે. Omniscient Lord and spiritual monks have mentioned the conventional point of view is not true one. The pure point of view is true one. Living being who takes the refuge in the true one is enlightened and from absolute point of view. So basically, conventional point of view is not true one, and absolute point of view is true. That's all it says in this stanza, in a meaning of the stanza. And this is a Sanskrit commentary of Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev, and he has given a fantastic commentary on that. And actually each and every word can be dissected, and one can go through the meaning. I'm extremely fortunate that there is a person in Jaipur, Pandit Arunji, and he is Sanskrit PhD, and also he has tremendous love for Samaysar and Gurudev. And he really loves this Sanskrit commentary of Amrit Chandra Acharya Dev, and he's teaching me Sanskrit one-on-one basis on the video conference for last 1 year, and I have nothing but a great thing going on. So he just loves these things, and he will dissect this one, and he can keep on talking forever, for example. Well, I don't have that expertise right now, so we won't go through that. There is a Gujarati Tika is there, which is basically translation of Sanskrit into the Gujarati, and thereafter this Tika continues. There is still more Tika on that one, and then there is a further explanation by Jaychandji Chabda. Pandit Jaychandji Chabda has given this Bhavarth, means further explanation. So we'll go to the meaning of the stanza. What's the meaning of the stanza over here? What it says, conventional point of view means Vyavarne is untrue. And again, I'll throw the Sanskrit words also, that we should get some familiarized with that, because sometimes it is next to impossible to make real meaning from that Sanskrit word to even Gujarati and or to Hindi, English. So conventional point of view is called abhutarth. Bhutarth means true. Abhutarth means untrue. So convention point of view is untrue. Remember all the convention point of view that we learn. Asadbhut, Upcharit, Vyavar Asadbhut, Anupcharit, Vyavar nahi. Sadbhut, Upcharit, Vyavar nahi. Sadbhut, Anupcharit, Vyavar nahi. All those four things that we learn, it is untrue. If it is untrue, then why do you mention that? Well, on the path to the spirituality, on the path to the understanding of the scripture, the conventional point of view will come. And we have to understand, but that is not the full stop. I want to go from Phoenix to New York. I'm coming in the plane. Plane stops at Dallas. That's not my final stop. Dallas will come if I'm coming American airline. So the stoppage comes in between. That's not the end point. So convention point of view will come. And it is important we learn about it. And then also learn how to go further from there. So convention point of view is abhutarth. Pure point of view, Swadhay, is a true one, means it is bhutarth. Or bhutarth, convention point of view, vyavar nahi. Bhutarth, nishchay nahi, or pure point of view, or Swadhay. Now, when we say convention point of view is abhutarth means what? Untrue means what? In comparison to pure point of view, the conventional point of view is untrue. Conventional point of view is true by itself, but when it's compared with the pure point of view, absolute point of view, then this night becomes abhutarth, means it becomes untrue. If I'm climbing a flight of stairs, I'm on the first step. That first step is important for me. Because if I don't go on first step, I can't go on second. So first step is important while I'm on the first step. But when I go to the second step, the first one becomes secondary and less important. Now the second step is important. Then I'm going to the third. So second is less important. So this is the way Vyavarne Nishchane is there. Vyavarne is important. Conventional point of view is important when I am on it. But I still have to go further. So that's why it is untrue. So then, what is a pure point of view? What is a Swadhay? This is the stanza which centers around Swadhay. So what is a Swadhay then? What's a pure point of view? Pure point of view is a mode. Is a partial point of view is a mode. When there's a reality in front of me, and I'm thinking about reality, means I have reflective thought about reality. Then it is called reflective thought. It is called vikalp. And that vikalp also produces inclination of attachment. So when I'm in the reflective thought process, then it is called inclination of attachment, means rag. Thinking about eternal pure soul is better than not, to think something else. But thinking means it is still inclination of attachment, means rag. And I have to go beyond that stage to experience what I thought about it. I thought about the real nature of the soul. I thought about it, but then I go and experience, and that is the end result. I want to eat food, I want to eat food, I want to eat food. I'm going to go for a marriage, it's going to be having good food, and that's it. And I think about food, I think about food, I think about food. My tummy is not full with that thought. When I go there and eat, experience the food, eating the food, then my hunger goes away. Same way, here, when pure point of view is a partial point of view, is a mode. It's a reflective thought. It's a mode. The eternal innate state, all know virtue of the eternal true self, means Gnayak Bhav, is the pure point of view. There is a conflict going on with the fourth bullet and fifth bullet. In the fourth bullet, we said that it's a reflective thought. It's a mode. But this mode is directed to the eternal soul substance. The pure, eternal, immutable, all-knower soul substance. So my mode is directed to the eternal soul substance. Even though it's a mode, and mode is transient, but it is directed. Where is it directed? Not to the alien object. It's directed to the eternal soul substance. So the object for this mode is an eternal soul substance. And that's why, as this mode has an object of eternal soul substance, that's why even this mode is also called pure point of view, or it is called Bhutarth. It is called true one. Usually, when we talk about soul substance and the mode, eternal soul substance and transient mode needs to be put secondary in nature. But when this transient mode is looking and making making its object as an eternal soul substance, then this mode itself is also called pure also. In this stanza, the subject of pure point of view is also known as pure point of view. Who is the subject? Object is an eternal soul substance. Mode is a subject. Mode is doing this knowing thing. And because this mode is doing the pure point of view, means the mode is directing attention to the eternal soul substance. That means the eternal soul, that mode is also called pure point of view, or it is called eternal soul substance, because this mode has given its all total surrendering shape to the eternal soul substance. So this mode becomes part of the eternal soul substance, and that's why it is also known as pure point of view. Now, pure point of view is partial point of view. It's called Nai, right? That we know, no important part. It's a mode. It's a part of the knowledge. It's a knowledge mode, okay? But its subject matter for this mode is the eternal true nature of the soul. The eternal substance is a subject. Both, that means both. The mode as well as the all-knower soul substance, they both are considered as pure point of view. What is my aim ultimately? Ultimate aim is eternal soul substance. So now my mode puts a faith on the eternal soul substance. Excuse me. When my faith is directed to eternal soul substance, that means now I know and experience the eternal soul substance. That means the mode and the all-knower eternal soul substance, they both are considered as pure point of view. Therefore, both are considered as a, because they're pure point of view, that's why they both are called bhutarth. They both are called true one. The mode, the pure mode, which is directed its attention to the eternal soul substance, number one, that mode. And second thing, the object of this mode means the eternal soul substance. They both are called true one. They both are called bhutarth. Now, there is going to be contrast between the stanza 11 and stanza 142. Gurudev has, when Gurudev talks about one stanza, he just does not keep us guessing work. That in somewhere else, in some other places, it shows different way, and over here you are talking different way. So what is the difference? So stanza 11 and stanza 142. In stanza 142, it will say that even the mode we don't consider. Only pure point of view means eternal soul substance, that's it. And over here, you are telling mode as well as eternal soul substance, both have pure point of view. So there's going to be contrast between those two stanzas. And 142 stanza is extremely important. Naya paksa sakar rahita bhakyo te Samaysar she. Naya paksa atikranta bhakyo te means when one goes beyond the reflective thoughts. Nai means reflective thoughts. Once you go beyond, when you go beyond all this nai and all this partial point of view and absolute point of view and convention point of view, all those things you leave behind, then only you have a deep experiencing of the eternal soul substance. That eternal soul substance is only considered as a pure point of view. So why this contrast over here? So Gurudev explains to us that in 11th stanza, it says the mode, which knows the soul substance, and the soul substance by itself, they are the one and the same thing. Even though they're two separate things, this is the mode, and it is directing attention to the eternal soul substance. So they both are considered as one in stanza 11. Pure point of view is a true one. That's a center point in the 11th stanza. Then in 142 stanza, it says that even the reflective thought means the night. Reflective thought about eternal nature of the self is considered as hindrance in actual experiencing of the eternal true self. Remember, here I'm sitting in a meditative posture and I say, I'm the soul, I'm the soul, I'm the pure soul, I'm the all-knower pure soul. And I don't have any other thoughts at all, nothing. I just get engrossed in this thought process about saying that this is the, I am the soul. I am the soul means two things happen, and that's called nai there. And because the reflective thoughts, that's why it's called nai, partial point of view. Partial point of view always comes in the reflective thought. Yes.
I'm sorry for disrupting everyone else, but I just want to clarify something. I just have some. So first of all, with stanza 142, I think just another way of thinking about it, is it that the thoughts are part of the body and the mind, the soul only has inclinations, but thoughts are actually part of the body. That's why reflective thoughts are a hindrance. Is that true?
Yeah. You see, thoughts are not part of the body. Thoughts are coming from the mind, right? So
Right.
body.
Mind is body.
So mind, you have to say mind. So thoughts are occurring. It's called reflective thoughts. Means I'm quote unquote thinking about something. I'm thinking about what's going to be weather tomorrow. What time am I going to make it to work? What's going to happen to my family? What is going to happen in my Christmas vacation? All those thoughts are there. Instead of those thoughts, now I'm making thoughts only about my eternal soul substance. And I have no other thoughts coming in my mind about the alien objects of the universe. Only the thought I have is, I am the eternal soul substance. I'm the pure soul. I'm the all-knower soul. All those kind of quote unquote meditation when I do, and meditation is kind of not a right word, but lack of better words, we are using the word meditation. But here I'm closing my eyes, I'm in a particular posture, and I think nothing but the soul only. I have no other thoughts coming. But that thought about soul is called reflective thought. And when there is reflective thought, it is called rag. It is called inclination of attachment. And wherever there is inclination of attachment, that means there is no experiencing. They are two sides. They are two away from each other. They are 180 degrees apart. Reflective thoughts, inclination of attachment, rag, and my pure nature is over here. They both are far apart, according to 42 stanza.
So I think what I just am confirming, that reflective thought is part of your mind, and it's with raga and dvesh, and that's why it is a hindrance in actually experiencing the eternal true self. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then going back to 11.
Now, going back to 11, what it says, that, hey, you know what? Yes, we know that part. We know that it is rag. We know it's a reflective thought. But again, what is this reflective thought about? About my eternal soul substance. So ultimately, this reflective thought will quiet down, and at particular moment, I will enter into experiencing of the soul substance. So that's why in 11th stanza it says, even the reflective thought ultimately is going to end up to the experiencing phase, and so we are making both as a true thing, both as a bhutar, both as a real one. So 142 stanza is extremely microscopic and says not even my reflective thought that we will consider okay. Amrit Chandracharya is very, very strict there, and he has given about 20 kalash on that one, on 142 stanza. He wrote 20 extra stanzas to try to explain that why reflective thoughts are also not good. When I'm processing, I'm going from point A to point B. Point B is my experiencing the soul. When I'm making my journey, here I come, reflective thoughts are here. And once I go beyond reflective thought, then there is experiencing. So in 11th stanza, it says, okay, you have reflective thoughts just before your experiencing of the soul. We'll also consider that as a true one also. So he's kind of, stanza 11 is kind of a little bit liberal. And 142 stanza is extremely strict. It says, no way, Jose. We won't accept that one also as a right thing. Only right thing is experience. Only true thing is experience. Only bhutarth is experience.
Okay, so then I have a question about 11.
Yeah.
So attributes have modes, is my understanding.
Yeah.
So it's so I'm reading it. Number 11, it says that the mode which knows the soul substance. So which attribute are we talking about? The knowledge mode?
Knowledge attribute. When it says no means knowledge, knowing.
So the creation and destruction of a mode that knows the soul substance,
Yeah.
that in itself is one and the same if you are having reflective thought. Correct?
Yeah, that's what 11 will say that. But then 142 says, even that the mode, when you bring in the picture, we don't, Amrit Chandracharya says, I don't want that mode in the picture at all. That, wait a second, experiencing occurs in the mode. So why do you say you don't want to bring the mode in the picture? Where, yes, you bring the mode in the picture, but make it so secondary, as if it's not existing. Because my eternal soul substance is only pure one, and it is taking precedence on everything else, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, it means 11 stanza is somewhat liberal, but 142 is absolute black and white. It just does not say in a gray thing at all. Here in 11 says gray ultimately turns into white. So, okay, we will accept that. And so these are the things that we have to keep our ideas alive, because remember, other day somebody had called me and says, you know, if you know so much about the detail about all this thing, it is useless. Why it's useless? Because it makes you kind of dry. Why dry? Because then you won't do anything. Remember, if we understand the real nitty-gritty of the philosophy and real nature of the soul, and that is my end point, that's what I would like to rest. If I know that part, then it doesn't make difference which way I come to that point. So it is important we have to understand this part so we don't get stuck into the path coming over here. Because most of the time we get stuck somewhere and then we just think that, oh no, whatever it is, that's perfect thing, and I don't want to do anything no more. Or I don't need to do anything no more. Here, my end point is eternal soul substance, and to get engrossed in that one. That's why I was telling that, you know, it needs to have really, seatbelts really need to be tight, because this is really, I mean, hardcore philosophy starts here. So one must understand what perspective is used in a given stanza. So perspective is very important, that in 11 stanza, the pure point of view is a reflective thought, but because it is only about experiencing, ultimately leads to experience, so that's why everything is true and the rest of the things are untrue. In 142, it will ignore that part also. So we have to have some of the background of the different stanzas coming time to time. Now, one who takes the refuge in the eternal true nature of the soul is considered to have right faith from absolute perspective, right? We know that part very well. I had taken refuge in my eternal soul substance, and that's why it's called right faith, and that is from absolute perspective. Why do we use this kind of words? Because to come to realization of the soul, to come for self-experiencing phase, to come to eternal soul substance, and to get engrossed in that one. While I'm making my journey on the path to my journey, there is going to be instrumental cause. Nimit will be available, and that is going to be Dev, Shastra, and Guru, omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and enlightened monks. They will be coming with me to direct me to the right place. And so, when I get the experience of the soul substance, when I get samyak darshan, when I get self-realization, when I get Atma Darshan, Atmanubhuti. At that time, I still had previously Dev Shastra Guru had helped me out. So the Dev Shastra Guru faith on my omniscient Lord, faith on my Holy Scripture, faith on my enlightened teacher, that also can be said to have right faith from conventional perspective. Absolute perspective, I'm experiencing my soul. Period. That's it. Conventional perspective, I have faith in my omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and enlightened monks. And so that is called conventional faith. This is the absolute faith we are talking. Next. Taking refuge means mode is taking refuge. Who is taking refuge? Who is doing the action? Eternal soul substance is immutable, permanent, never changing. It remains stagnant, same as before, all the time, continuously. All the infinite attributes are same, immutable, stagnant, permanent, never changing. Changes are occurring only in the mode. So, who is taking refuge in the eternal soul substance? Mode is taking refuge. But the subject matter of this mode is not the mode. It's becoming a little bit complicated, but we'll just dissect that one out nicely. This who is taking refuge in the eternal soul substance? The mode is taking refuge. So what's the subject matter for this mode? Is an eternal soul substance. The subject matter for this mode is not the mode. Subject matter for this mode is eternal soul substance. Because I want to take, the mode wants to take refuge in that. Subject matter of this mode is an eternal trueness of the self and is not the mode. Mode gives up its all existence and says, I'm just donating my total existence to the eternal soul substance. So this is the way mode is separate from one perspective, but it just dives into the eternal soul substance. So substance and mode becomes one at the time. Now, the faith mode of the knowledge mode, faith mode and knowledge mode in the form of partial point of view takes refuge in the eternal true nature of the indivisible soul substance. Now, mode is taking refuge, and now here Acharya Bhagavan goes a little bit deeper and says, faith mode and knowledge mode. Why do we use those two modes here? Because knowledge decides what's the true nature of the self. Knowledge decides what's the constitution of the soul, what's the anatomy and physiology of the soul. The knowledge mode decides that one. Once knowledge mode decides, then knowledge mode tells the faith mode, faith, you are directing to the alien object since time infinite in the past. Come in. Its happiness is here. Bliss is here. Knowledge is here. Engrossment is here. So you come down here. So faith mode now takes turn from the alien object and comes to the eternal soul substance. So knowledge mode decides the true nature in the reflective thought and then directs the faith mode to, excuse me, to come to the soul substance. That means it is called experience at that time. This is called right faith. It's called samyak darshan. Now, when one takes refuge in the eternal indivisible soul substance, then he removes his wrong faith. Remember, faith which was here, knowledge mode says, hey, come down here. From alien objects that you have faith, come to the eternal soul. Come within. You will like it. So when the faith mode comes to the eternal soul substance, means wrong faith from the alien object is gone. As soon as you have the faith directed to the eternal soul substance, then the wrong faith is gone. Remember, faith attribute has only two possible modes. Either mode for the alien objects, which is called wrong faith, or mode for the eternal soul substance, which is called samyak darshan. There is nothing in between. So in the fourth gunsthanak, when I bring my faith from the alien object to my eternal soul substance, that is final thing. It remains there forever till I get liberated and point beyond. So faith is only 2 points. Alien objects faith or soul substance faith. Only two things. So wrong faith goes away, right faith starts. And so once the wrong faith goes away, means right faith has started. Still there is some leftover inclination of attachment and aversion. What happens? Remember, we are talking 3 attributes right now: knowledge, faith, and conduct. Knowledge mode decided the true nature of the self, what is the exact nature of the soul. And after deciding that, knowledge mode directs the faith mode to come to the eternal soul substance. Now, at the time, conduct has so many garbage within. So it gets partially purified, but still needs to have more purification from 4th gunsthanak all the way to 14th gunsthanak, up to 12th for the conduct. So up to 12th gunsthanak, it needs to be purified in gradual stepwise process. So even when I'm in the 4th spiritual development stage, my faith is directed to the self, there is still some amount of inclination of attachment and aversion left. Majority are gone, but still some left, and that goes away gradually as the gunsthanak progresses, and then purity of the soul is perceived at 12th gunsthanak, when conduct is also pure. At 13th gunsthanak, knowledge is also pure. And at 4th gunsthanak, the faith attribute has become pure. So all these 3 things, samyak darshan, samyak jnana, samyak charitra, all those 3 things becomes pure, and that's called omniscient stage. Now, this inclination of attachment, which is still present after the 4th gunsthanak, they get dissipated as the soul further progresses in gunsthanak. So here we have taken 3 attributes: knowledge attribute, faith attribute, and conduct. Knowledge, faith becomes samyak darshan right away, knowledge joins there, and conduct attribute progressively keeps on improving till at the end of 12th gunsthanak there is a pure conduct, pure knowledge, and pure faith. All 3 things are there. Now, someone having knowledge of 11 canons, faith in omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, enlightened monks, means Dev Shastra Guru. He observes 5 great vows. What are they talking about? Someone has an extreme intelligence, and he has studied all 11 the 12 canons are there, 12 Dwadashang, Bar Ang, 12 Ang, 12 scriptural books are there. Each scriptural book has a huge thing. For example, first scriptural book, Acharya Sutra, has 18,000 chapters. And each chapter has 51 crore, means 5.1 million and more sloks in that one. So that's the first canon. Second canon has 36,000 chapters. Third one has 72,000 chapters and things like that. So it's a huge amount of scriptural things. And somebody has a extreme hard intelligence, and he remembers all those 11, not 12, but 11 only. He comes up to 11. He also has faith in an omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, enlightened monks. He's also observing 5 great vows like Muni and everything. All these are still called inclination of attachment state. You mean knowing up to 11 canons? Yes. Knowing up to having the faith in a Dev Shastra Guru? Yes. Observing great vows and everything of monks? Yes. But this is all knowledge we are talking about. His faith is still directed to outside. Faith is still directed to the alien objects. And as long as faith is not directed to the eternal soul substance, all those things are still called inclination of attachment. That means bondage, means there is not going to be liberation to that person. So they are very strict that after knowledge, it has to follow with the faith coming to the eternal soul substance. Without having right faith, these influence of attachment states are known as wrong faith state. Remember, faith is important. Faith is important. If the faith is directed to the eternal, to the alien objects, faith is directed to the alien objects. It doesn't make difference how much knowledge I have on this side. The faith has to come to inside. Faith has to come and take a turn and to come to the eternal soul substance. So without that faith coming inside, all this knowledge, all this conduct and everything, they are called wrong faith state. Only taking refuge in the eternal soul substance generates right faith. So for faith to be directed to eternal soul substance, one's faith has to get directed towards inner side and to give up the alien objects perspective. Once faith starts, then Dev Shastra Guru faith is known as conventional form of right faith, even though it has a small rag and dvesh present, teeny tiny slight influence of attachment state is present, but that will ultimately go away. If there is a tree, if I ask you to take one leaf out from the tree, take one leaf out of the tree, how long will it take to completely make the tree bald without any leaves at all? It will never happen because new leaves will keep on coming and coming. So that tree will not become leafless. I want to make this tree leafless. Means I want to make this tree as no rag and dvesh. I would like to have complete dispassionate state in this in this soul. So what happens? For the tree to take all these leaves out and make the tree bald, what you have to do? Cut the tree from the bottom. When you cut the tree from the bottom, tree falls down. Still there are green leaves are there, but how many days those leaves, green leaves will stay there? Because there is no nourishment. So within day, 2 days, 5, 10, 15 days, all those leaves are gone. Similarly, if I am the soul, if I'm cutting my wrong faith from the bottom, means my tree falls down. There's still some leaves are remaining, still some minor influence of attachment and aversions are remaining. But how long they will last? Few days or something, little time, and then they will disappear too. And I will become pure. My conduct will become pure. That's what it tries to say over here. Influence of attachment is also known as influence of attachment due to instability nature, asthita anurag. When after 4th spiritual developmental stage, I have obtained knowledge, I have obtained pure, right knowledge about the soul and everything. I really understood nature of the soul deeply. I brought my faith to this eternal soul substance, and now I end up getting the right faith. When I get right faith, there is still left over little bit influence of attachment is there, but that is called influence of attachment due to instability nature. Means I'm not able to get engrossed into the soul forever, and that's why few of the little bit amount of influence of attachment and aversions are still there, but ultimately they also go away. Just like those fallen tree having leaves, those leaves finally they go away. Same way, this influence of attachment also will go away. Now, eternal true nature of the self is, now we are talking about eternal soul. Self is full of luster of pure faith, knowledge, conduct, supersensuous bliss, and also all the infinite attributes are in the purer form. And so I enjoy this bliss and knowledge from this undivided soul substance, and I enjoy that one. I get engrossed in it. This is pure point of view, absolute point of view, or it's called Swadhay. So what is called Swadhay? Eternal soul, eternal true nature of the self, having pure faith, knowledge, conduct, supersensuous bliss, and this is called pure point of view. Even pure point of view is a reflective thought, but it is only thinking about the eternal self, and that's why this thing is also called pure point of view. The eternal soul substance is also called pure point of view because it's an object of pure point of view. It's an object of pure point of view, so it's called pure point of view also. Now, Amrit Chandracharya Acharya Dev starts with a tika, means a further detailed analysis of this stanza. So I think the time is coming up. So I'll leave over here because it's going to start brand new things, and it's going to give a amazing amount of explanation about Vyavarnai that we already have learned. But whatever we have learned is nothing. When Amrit Chandracharya starts talking about conventional point of view, those four divisions are same, but application is so minute, so microscopic, so finer that we will just have to really concentrate on it to understand. Any questions so far? So basically on today it just says what is pure point of view. That's all it says. Pure point of view is eternal soul substance. That's it. That's in short for one sentence if you have to say. And thereafter it's going to talk more about everything in great detail about analysis of the stanza. Any question? I know it's a little bit little heavy subject today, but it's okay. So what? We already have decided that we are here together. We are going to swim together, and we will understand, and we will digest all this thing. If you have to go again and again, we'll do that. No problem with that. Okay, next week is going to be the Wednesday falling between Christmas and New Year. So can we keep it off because some of the people are going to be traveling and the family and all kind of things. So can we keep it postponed for next week? Because I mean the next subject is is going to be really great one coming, and I don't want to have anybody miss out. So probably January 1st onwards, whatever Wednesday comes, we'll start. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll do the closing then, okay? If there's no question. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लो कालो सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ दो 9 times नमो का मंत्र नमो अनंताय जय जिनेन्द्र
Jai Jinendra Vicham.
thank you
Vichame Dukram, Happy New Year.
happy new year happy holidays thank you we'll see you in January okay
All right. See you. Bye.
bye